Ok. Raga, mi sentite? No, 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 grazie. Quindi a posto così, cioè se parlo normale mi si sente? Ok. Ok, grazie. Perché all'università è una cosa, qui è tutt'altra. Hello. Guys, I ask you to welcome the judges.
Welcome, everyone. I'm glad that we're all here again. So, first of all, welcome. My name is Alessandra Bavistrelli, and I will be serving as your league coordinator today. So before we start, just a couple of things. I know that conflict of interests were already addressed during the orientation. This is for the judges. However, just to clarify, alumni or advisory board members may not judge during the league in which their team is competing. If you are either an alumni or an advisory board member for one of the teams presenting in this league, please identify yourself so we can assign you to a different league. Okay. So I'll just call the name of the judges just so we can introduce them to the room. So first of all, we have, and sorry if I pronounce any name wrong, Lien Albani, Sara Bertolai, Elisa Bianco, Alberto Guaraccio, Gabriele Grespan, Pietro Melzi, Tiziana Pellino e Marco Zanelli. Okay. So back to English. I would like to take just a minute to remind you of a few things as we get started this morning with the first competition league. So each of the judges must be present during the entire presentation made by each team in order for your votes to be counted. So during the presentations, you're not allowed to leave the room. The individual team evaluation form in your judge handbook, which is the green one, are your main guide for evaluating each team. Please remember that there is space provided on the form for comments, and you're highly encouraged to write feedback and comments for each team. You can also write in the back of the page in case you need more space, and we highly encourage you to do it because these forms will be handed to the teams at the end, and your feedback will be incredibly valuable to them. So an additional reminder about these forms, there is space for you to make comments, and I have just said, but on the second page of the form, you can also do this on the annual report that the teams will hand to you. Just know that this will not be given back to them. So please, all comments that you want the teams to read must be put on the green sheets. All judging decisions are to be made independently, so you cannot confer with your colleagues during the scoring time. If you have any questions today about the process or about your role, please address those questions to me or to any other Enactus staff. All individual team evaluations and results from today's competition are to be kept completely confidential, so we ask you not to share with anyone what the two teams, like the two winning teams that will come out from this league, because these names will be disclosed during the event this afternoon, so we want the surprise to be still there for everyone. Also, the question and answer session, which is at the end of each presentation, should be used for asking clarifying questions about projects or items presented during the team's presentation. As a reminder, these are reference points for the question and answer sessions in your judge handbook. What this means is please just ask questions that are very specific and do not ask questions that are too long, because we want our students to have more opportunities to explain what they're doing and for you to have more information. And last but not least, would everyone please check that their phones and any other devices are turned off and put away, because we want to make sure that every team has our undivided attention for their presentation. So thank you for this. I will start calling the first team. Okay. Okay, so judges, please help me welcome the team from Enactus John Cabot and their faculty advisor. John Bergamin. The time is starting now.
Enactus John Cabot.
Enactus John Cabot.
Enactus John Cabot.
Enactus John Cabot.
You have 1 minute left in your setup period. You may now begin your presentation.
Italy, 300,000 square kilometers of land, ancient ruins, mountains, the heart of the Mediterranean Sea, diverse landscapes. You can jump from the 21st century to the Renaissance. You might wonder what makes our city grow, truly grow. Traditions are carried over from generation to generation. Family is everything. We craft products with passion. We make things well, even if it takes a long time. Growth, capitalizing, the heart of the Roman Empire, empowering individuals to make a difference. Today, inspired by our people, we are here to make a difference. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to present to you our two projects. I'm Alicia.
I'm Gaia. I'm Costanza.
I'm Mama.
We are 8 business-driven students, and we are passionate about social entrepreneurship. And we are Enactus John Cabot.
But the country we love is also suffering. Italy has 3 key issues. 1. Economic inequality. 1 in 3 people is at risk of poverty, the highest number in Europe. 7% of us live in absolute poverty, 11% are unemployed, and among young individuals, this number rises up to 35%.
Two, environmental issue. And 18 million acres of forest are lost each year, and 70% of industrial waste is dumped into waters. If you think that 2,000 gallons of water are used to make one pair of jeans, it's quite obvious that textile waste is a consequence of irresponsible consumption and production. And if you think that also 23,000 of clothes every year gets thrown away in Rome alone, well, that creates CO2. 3. Social inclusion. More than anywhere else in Europe, Italy has the highest influx of migrants. About 120,000 migrants arrive in Italy every year. 78% of Italians feel excluded due to unemployment, and 50,000 are still homeless. Because of these social issues, there is a friction among these communities.
So how do we change this? How does a team of 8 students find a way to bring jobs, facilitate integration, and at the same time have the environment? Well, we do this thanks to our common thread and Project Terminus.
Now we will present our common thread. Our common thread is a social enterprise that helps people in need to pursue a job in tailored second-hand clothes. Every year, 75 kilograms of clothes are thrown away at John Cabot University. So we decided to give those clothes a second life. In doing so, we are achieving 4 sustainable goals: number 5, number 8, number 10, and number 12.
Our project process is divided into 5 steps. Step 1, the collection of the clothes. We personally collect the clothes with our beneficiaries at John Cabot University. 2, the washing of the clothes. We take the clothes to a local laundry place in Trastevere. 3, the refurbishment of the clothes. We take the clothes at Enactus, which is one of our partners, where our beneficiaries start the sewing process. 4, the selling of the clothes. We sell the clothes through events organized both inside and outside the university. And finally, as our final step, we would reinvest the profits into the project process, but in the future also for sewing classes, Italian and English classes, and classes on how to build a resume.
All of this is possible thanks to our partners: John Cabot University, our business club, our STEM club, that is a community service club at John Cabot, the Institute for Entrepreneurship with our mentors who helped us during the process, our main partner, Humilitas, where our beneficiaries are from, and Hummus Town, a local non-profit organization that helps Syrian refugees to gain economic independence through cooking, packaging, and delivering Syrian cuisine around Rome, who helped us during our events.
And these are our beneficiaries. This year, we started a trial month with 4 beneficiaries that we have met thanks to our partner Humilitas. And they are Romana from Argentina, Silvia and Alice from Peru, and Ella from Nigeria. During the refurbishment process, we collected the stories of these beneficiaries.
We didn't want any of these stories to be forgotten. We didn't want time, distance, or indifference to erode them. We wanted them to reach the heart of the people. While we crafted our business plan, we kept thinking ourselves, what could make our project so special? Our labels. We included every story in each piece of clothing and wrote them on our labels so that those stories are no longer just voices. They heal, they speak, they transform. At our common thread, we believe it is one thing to sell a shirt, another is to get to know the person who made it. We sell stories and humanity, not just products. The stories and the people behind the clothes. This is what makes our common thread unique.
This year, we organized 2 events, one inside the university and one outside the university, thanks to our partner, Hummus Town. And the money that we have collected, we have used it to pay back the beneficiaries for their work.
Taking into consideration our costs and revenues, we are planning to break even at the end of 2020. This is our plan and our sustainability for the future. In year one, we started at John Cabot University. We collected the clothes, we fundraised, and we started our trial month with full beneficiaries. Our crucial year will be in year 3, when we will become a social enterprise. In year 4 and 5, we will expand it to other universities in Rome and all over Italy through a franchising model, and we will hire 4 more beneficiaries.
By year 5, we will truly be able to touch the lives of our beneficiaries through 3 different levels of impact. 1, direct impact. 2, lives improved. And finally, empowerment.
We will now present to you Project Terminus, our brand new idea. Let's start from our needs assessment. We first look at the tourism industry and what it means to Italy. We have analyzed how 41.3 billion is the total amount of how this industry is worth. And in particular, it's 13% of the total GDP of Italy. If you also consider that 1 in 10 people in this country is employed in tourism, it's a strength, and it's a power of nature. At the same time, we have to consider the darker side of tourism, as it dilutes cultural heritage. It also there's the overcrowding of city centers. We also envision seasonal unemployment, and we see a shortage of facilities. And at the same time, it affects the environment, as it destructs habitats and it creates littering and pollution.
And this is where Project Terminus comes in. It's an initiative that aims to offer a new kind of touristic experience in the Eternal City. An experience for all conscious people that want to make a difference and leave an impact. Hence, Project Terminus, we will cover the SDG objective number 8, 11, 12, and 13.
We want to become the Airbnb experiences of sustainability and offer a plethora of opportunities for all socially minded tourists that would like to be part of the tourist people that come to Rome and Italy. So we will offer things like gardening in Villa Pamphili, we will offer cooking classes of Roman dishes with a purpose, and also recycle plastic mosaic art classes as examples of things that we will propose in Project Terminus.
And how are we going to do that? Simple. First, we're going to find our partners. Second, we create a project with them. Third, we implement a strategy with them. And finally, we achieve 4 results.
Our potential partners will, of course, be local artisans, restaurants, organizations of communities, and freelance service providers.
Project Terminus wants to achieve in 3 main areas. First, the social-cultural part, by promoting the Italian pride and identity by offering authentic and unforgettable local experiences. And this could prevent also the leakage of potential local business. Then the economic part, because in Rome, every year pass more than 40 million of tourists, every year. And this gives us a potential market size of $4.4 billion. And this could really help a lot the local business which are struggling. And finally, the environment, because we could use some of our partners to clean up the city and lower the carbon footprint left by mass tourism. And our roadmap strategy is pretty straightforward. We want to start with Rome, not just because it's the capital of our country, but because it's the most visited city in Italy. And second, we want to expand to the other major touristic Italian cities, like, for example, Milan or Florence, and finally reach minor touristic cities like, for example, Siena, Pisa, or Verona too.
Rome is our story, but also part of our history. Let's work together to make it part of our brighter, better, and more sustainable future together. Thank you.
Thank you.
We will begin the question and answer period. Both judges may ask questions. Any judge?
Thank you very much. Congratulations for your presentation. Let me break the ice. Only one question about the first project. It's a question about the labor cost. I don't see no cost about collection of clothes, no cost about storage of clothes. Why?
Thank you for your question. So basically, we collect our clothes and we keep our clothes to a place which is basically Humilitas. It's one of our partners, and in this, it has helped us a lot keeping the clothes in at their place. So this has helped us reducing costs during our project process.
And also, if I want to go off of that, the clothes for the clothes, cost for the clothes collection. So basically, we are receiving the clothes in our residence because John Cabot University is an American university, and they have 2 residences. And every year, people that come at our university to stay for just 6 months or 1 year, they left their clothes behind when they leave Italy. So we are basically collecting the clothes from our university, and we're keeping the clothes at Humilitas.
First, congratulations for your presentation. I'd like to link my question to that one, saying that there is no reference about budget in both presentations. And I do believe that it's really important to present a budget cost, forecast, and then the revenues. So just to keep an idea that yours is a concrete idea, and you have, of course, expenses, but also, I hope, in kind from your partners. So just to give an idea, which is the overall budget you can manage.
Thank you for your question. So the projects that we presented today are 2 very different projects in the way that their business model works. So in reference to our common thread, specifically, the only graph that we presented relating to our financial aspects, as you see, is the break-even, mainly because it would also encapsulate also how much we are making together with the cost. We thought it was the easiest screenshot for everyone as highlight for everyone to see. For now, as you see, in the first few years, we are under. We're not, of course, making as much as we are, as we're spending. So that is the current situation in terms of our common thread. And of course, we can then clarify the numbers in specific. In terms of Project Terminus, because we have envisioned this project as basically more of a consulting service that we are offering to other pre-existing businesses of Rome, we are not necessarily spending yet at this point, but every single business that will have one experience, touristic experience for the socially minded tourist, will have it as part of their own budget. So we would need to track every single financial statement for you right now of the businesses that are helping us. So it's 2 different ways. One is creating a product, the other one is more of a consulting service. So thank you for your question, though.
Just a thing, yes, it's quite clear because your project is totally different from the first one. Regarding the first project, it's really important to keep in mind the global costs of the employees. So in year 3, you expect to become a social enterprise. So it's really important to have a very clear and solid business plan, because building a social enterprise, it's tough, really hard. And especially because you have to engage and involve employees. So, and the global cost here in Italy, due to the laws, it's quite hard. So, just an advice.
Yeah, thank you very much for your suggestion. In fact, we are just in the first year, so we are improving and learning every day. So, thank you very much.
So, congrats for your presentation. Really cool. I agree so much. I would like to ask you which is your digital strategy to scale this project, because you have phases in the process that is sell, but you don't mention nothing about it. So,
if I'm not mistaken, you mean our sustainability in the future, so how we will scale in the future.
How you can scale and you can sell your new refurbished clothes to person because there is not a digital strategy to promote your solution?
Okay, so for now we have social media. We are promoting through social media, and we are planning to expand it to other universities in year 4, and then all over Italy. And then we are also planning to use digital marketing to further expand our business also online.
Also fun.
Judges, please join me in thanking the University of Geneva for their presentation. Judges, just a reminder, you have about 1-2 minutes to fill out your individual evaluation forms. And please remember that the comments that you write in there are the only formal way to actually give your suggestion to the team, so please take the time to do that. And yeah. Judges, please help me welcome the team from University di Insubria. Giusto? And their faculty advisor, Andrea Oselli.
No? Yeah.
Insubria.
Insubria.
Italy, but from all over the world.
13,000 students, well, the number may not tell you too much, right? But can you imagine how many stories can cross and influence each other, even in a small place like ours? My name is Beba.
And my name is Tanya, and today we're going to tell you our story, a story of resilience, challenges, and sharing.
It is in this stimulating environment that our story begins, thanks to Enactus. In December 2017, a group of passionate and hardworking students crossed his life. Our team was born, and since that moment, we have been striving to get a tangible impact on our reality.
And this is how the first chapter of our story begins, with a research to gather some data. But we did not like what we saw.
Our project has two main aims for improve the quality of life. First one is fulfilling environmental and social objectives, and the second one is building bridges between people.
Our mission? Sorry. So here you can see
articles that shows the data about microplastics particles in our lakes. In fact, in Italy, in the north of Italy, we recycle about 65% of plastic waste we produce. It may seem we are doing a good job, right? But it's not like this, because in 1 year, just last year, the number of particles of microplastics per kilometer squares in our lakes augmented from 39,000 to 130,000. What does it mean? That we are not doing enough. In fact, on the national level, we recycle only 25% of the 2.1 million tons plastic waste we produce.
Okay, and then, do you remember the survey that we launched last year?
Oh yes, I remember. We catch more than 1,300 replies, and we discovered that 30% of respondents never had environmental educational programs, but they want to know more, to get instruments to fight plastic pollution.
But wait, Sveva, are you saying that people is asking to be educated to fight plastic pollution?
Exactly.
But are you sure that there is a real connection between education and good practices?
Yes. Always last year, in the USA was conducted a study that shows that if students, if educated at schools, can improve their behaviors towards the planet, being more sustainable, and they will transmit this knowledge at home to their families and stimulate them to do the same. So this is a good result for us.
So, as you can imagine right now, the solution for our idea was very simple. Education is the only chance for our future. And now it's a pleasure for us to present you Unwastable Education.
This project came as three United Nations goals. Number 4, quality education. Number 12, responsible consumption and production. And number 13, climate action. We talked about this program from students to students, and we structured it with 3 schools that were our first collaboration. The first one was in Piedmont, and we launched our Pioneer program.
Mm-hmm. So,
first school, we impacted 250 people.
Okay. And with our second collaboration that took place in Gallarate, in Lombardy, we impacted other 200 students. What did we do? We organized a workshop during the Science Week where we teach students about environmental education, and also we try to stimulate the conversation that they can have as citizens with public institutions.
This was the short version of our educational programs. In fact, in the first school, we tried a long one composed by 2 workshops. The first one, we talked about plastic history and its impact on our lives and on the planet. And in the second one, we stimulated them to think to new ideas and ways to use correctly plastic without polluting the planet. And we asked them to push up their creativity to do some artworks with plastic and to explain what was the meaning of these artworks.
And then, with our third collaboration, we have been able to collaborate with Rai Radio 2, which creates an event called M'illumino di meno on a national level. And here we had a workshop to adults people where we teach them about sustainability. And we have been able to impact other 50 people with our educational programs.
Well, so this year we reached some important goals. First, we standardized our portfolio of educational programs. Second, we enlarged our school networks. In fact, we have some collaboration for next academic year already. And the third was that we collaborated with some guys of a night school of Varese to personalize our program on what they want to know and how they want to be taught about plastic pollution and these topics.
And also, we try to empower them to make a change in their own schools. They will pressure their schools to make some little but significant changes, like putting water fountains and banning plastic bottles. But also, to help them a little bit more, we decided to create the Unwastable Pack, which will be the perfect allies for our students. It is composed by 3 simple objects: a reusable water bottle, a recyclable pen, and a recyclable folders, so they will be ready for the next academic year.
Yes. What about the future? We want to enlarge our teen communities too. We want to building the first real inclusive program. In fact, we want to keep touch with the Italian Language Sign Association to let our program be really, really inclusive. And it is made from students to students. This is the most important aspect. And we want to reach 1,000 more students and export the program in the near Switzerland.
Okay, Sveva, but how are we going to fund all that?
Oh, right. As you can see from these 2 pie charts talking about costs and revenues, you will see that we will be able to cover almost all the expenses we will have for the first year, given time, people that want to work with us, and all the material we need.
Okay, but let's break it down a little bit more. So regarding the costs, we will have personal costs of 3,120 euros that will cover mainly the cost to pay for our educators, which are the primary resource for our project. Then we will have some marketing costs that will cover events, flyers, and some social events that we are organizing with the Italian Language Sign Association. And then the other costs will cover, of course, the cost for the transport, the cost for the material, and the cost of our Unwastable Pack.
Let's talk about the revenues. The 36% of them will come from schools' fees, and the other will come from university calls and crowdfunding campaigns. This because we want to ask to a higher price to schools for our program.
But then, what's next? So we are planning to improve the quality of our educational program in order to be able to enlarge as much as we can all over Italy our network of schools and improve the sales of our Unwastable Pack so that we can reach our break-even point in a year and a half.
Well, but you better get ready, because in 3 years we want to build and launch a platform in which we will collect some environmental educational pills and put challenges to put in communication public institutions and citizens. This will be completely inclusive too, complete of language sign.
Sveva, we have 2 minutes.
Yeah, but it's perfect because our ambition doesn't end here. In fact, this year we worked on another project. We want to introduce you to the WOA project.
So the WOA project's goal is to empower women who are in a situation of economic dependence, and these women will help us to create some cases made of recyclable fabrics in a circular economy perspective.
We will do it with the collaboration of a social cooperative in Varese that is already involved in the integration of migrants, and they want to give us sewing machines.
Okay, so Sveva, I think our time has come to an end.
Yeah, I think our story is to come an end, but just for now.
Yes, because our passion is our strength, we are motivated by gratitude, and we are ready to work even harder than last year. We are
Enactus in Subria,
And this was our first story. Are you ready to join us?
We will now begin the question period. Just as a reminder, I would like to ask judges to ask quick questions so they have an opportunity to answer to as many questions as possible. And remember that every suggestion that you may have, the best way to do it is to put it in the evaluation form, which will be given to the students at the end. Thank you.
So thank you for your presentation. This is basically an education program, okay, that you presented us. You know that education has an impact through years. So how do you think you can measure the impact of your program in the next years? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. So we already plan to do some surveys after the first year. So we will have our educational program in a school, let's make an example. Then after 1 year, we will give them a survey to them and to their families to see the first impact. Then in these months, we are working to develop some new KPI in order to be able to measure even more precisely how the educational program if they are effective and if actually the good practice they've been put into an action.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. I have questions about how do you think a school should choose you for these programs? You see, each individuals may have feel the need to know more about it, but how you can make more scalable your project?
Yes, thank you for your question. So our project is unique because it's a project made by students for students. So also when we work with the students from the high school, we really work together to build a program based on what they really want. This is what makes our project really interesting. About the scalability, this is why we're planning in 3 years to launch a platform, because we want, nowadays, if you are not present on social media and on digital platform, it's kind of strange, right? So this is why we're planning to launch this platform in order to be able to build, to collect educational pills, and also we will be able to stimulate the conversation with public institutions. We want public institutions to be able to be on this platform in order to be able all together to talk about the problem and to find all together solutions that can help the environment and the society. I hope this answers your question.
Next question. Again, thank you for your presentation. Which is the role of the teachers in this process?
Sorry,
which is the role of teachers?
Of teachers,
yeah,
from the high school or our educators?
Not your. Okay, teachers and educators are not the same.
Of course.
Okay, so no, the teachers involved in your workshops in the classroom. So you work directly with students.
Yes.
Don't you need them or?
We basically work all together. They really just work with us. They do all the educational program with us, but just they will not take the same role as the educators. Okay, they will work with the students while we're doing our workshops and all our lessons.
So don't you see they can be a useful tool as replicability and sustainability of your action?
Yes, as well, because also the survey that we do after a year to see if the good practices are put into action, we will do them also, we will give them also to our teachers, not just the students and their family, but also to the teachers, because also these educational programs are not just for the students, but are for everybody.
Okay, thank you. Any other question?
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. I would ask you if you have done a survey on schools, if they are available to pay the fees.
Yes, we are already working with 3 new schools for the next academic year. One of them, it's a very big building because it's present on 2 different cities. And we are now working with them to make the environmental program more specific based on time. Sorry. Okay, thank you.
Please join me in thanking the University of Victoria for their presentation and hard work. Judges, please help me welcome the team from Enactus Verona and their faculty advisor, Paola Signori.
Good morning, everybody. We are very glad to be here today and to be part of the Enactus community. My name is Sofia, and along with my team, we represent the University of Verona and the University Foundation of Vicenza. We attend different courses, and for this reason, each one of us could contribute in a different way, sharing a specific knowledge. But without further ado, we are going to show you our project. Thank you for your attention.
Thanks, Sofia. I'm Francesco. I'm here with Erika to tell you a story. Let Dina take the floor.
Mi chiamo Dina, sono nata in Romania, sono arrivata in Italia nel 2003. All'inizio la mia vita ha avuto un percorso abbastanza normale, ma da un punto in poi le cose non sono andate proprio bene. In 2011 ho avuto un problema di salute, un tumore, e dopo la mia situazione familiare era disperata, avevo passato un maltrattamento in famiglia. Nel tempo di 8 mesi che ho fatto la chemio non avevo il gas perché non avevo soldi da pagarlo, ero senza gas in casa, senza cibo, andavo in giro con la macchina senza assicurazione e il gasolio non sapevo se mi arrivava fino in ospedale. Dio mi ha mandato nella mia vita la cooperativa Santa Maddalena che cercavano persone in difficoltà per assumerle. Da quel momento in poi la mia vita piano piano ha cominciato a cambiare. Questo lavoro mi ha aiutato a stare bene anche psicicamente, a essere più serena, più ottimista, e credo che ha aiutato tantissimo anche la mia salute, anche alla mia guarigione. È stata un'esperienza bellissima. Posso dire che sono arrivata qua in condizioni disperate e piano piano sono diventata effettivamente felice. Dopo 5 anni la mia invalidità era niente, ero guarita e il mio stato materiale era abbastanza buono. Allora ho pensato che è arrivato il giorno di lasciare posto per altre persone in difficoltà.
It's for statements like this that we create Rewind for Future. Rewind for Future is a social enterprise founded with the aim of creating new opportunities for women in difficult situations, giving them the opportunity to improve their skills and to be more aware of their values. Our aim is to create an exchange of skills. Women make available their tailoring skills techniques to make accessories, and at the same time, university students provide them with management lessons. As you can see, this is our logo. It represents the opportunity to go back into the production chain to recover textile waste, to give a future both to the women and to discarded textile.
A step back today to get a smile tomorrow.
For these reasons, ours is a circular economy project that aims not only to reduce waste, emissions and energy losses, but also to make information circulate.
So we have 3 inputs at our disposal. Discarded textiles donated to us by textile industries of the territory, disadvantaged women with technical skills, and students willing to help. Rewind for Future makes these ingredients to give birth to 2 outcomes: accessories like papillon, pochette, shoppers, and a training program to improve women's self-awareness and entrepreneurship.
Erika, could you tell us more about our products?
Yes, of course. As already mentioned, our accessories are made with discarded clothes transformed by our fantastic women. But to be sold, every product needs a packaging, and we decided to use recycled shoe boxes donated by Pittarello. They become themselves tools to communicate a story. As our mentor Susanna Martucci would say, our customers don't buy simple products, they buy communicating ones. In fact, by opening the lid of the packaging, our customers firstly receive Dina's words telling about her second chance, and secondly, the accessory.
Now, we will show you one of our most important goals, one which really makes Rewind for Future different from all the other circular economy projects. We would like to give you something new and valuable, such as a ticket for a better future. We made a survey to understand if other students of our university could be interested in our training program. And we found out that 77.34% of them do. Thanks to the survey and to some interview with our professors, we decided that free CFU for 20 hours of lesson could be enough. For the women, it would be a great opportunity to improve their skills. And for students, it would be very enriching as well. All this is possible thanks to our network, which is here represented by the model of Morgan and Ant that shows all the relationships that we have created. It doesn't include only suppliers and customers, but also internal and lateral partners.
You are wondering why we choose to create a Y for Future. Our project is based on some interesting data from PESTEL and SWOT analysis. For example, in 2014, only 25% of disadvantaged women had an occupation. And did you know how many liters of water are required to make a simple t-shirt? No? 2,700, yes, 2,700. And that there are almost 2,000 different types of chemicals used in fashion industry. Isn't it crazy? Thanks to our SWOT analysis, we can proudly affirm that the recycling of fabrics, together with the exchange of know-how, are points of strength that could lead us to the establishment of solid relationships with our suppliers, customers, workers, and other members of the network. This analysis, together with the survey, led us to focus on two different target markets. We examined new trends and new interests in the sustainable economy, and we gained two very important insights. Both the companies and the youngsters are looking forward to become more responsible. In the B2B market, we decided to offer our shoppers as corporate gift in order to help them to become more responsible. On the other end, we propose some fresh and crispy accessories for the B2C market. Our product will be available on some e-commerce like Amazon Handmade or Etsy, and sold in stores organized in the university hall. They will be promoted by social media like Instagram or Facebook.
Our analysis focuses on the first 5 years of our business and take into consideration the B2B and B2C selling channels. We based our estimates on market prices, which made us assume a break-even point of 230 pieces sold by 2020. Thanks to our program, in a year we supposed to help about 15 women to build their enterprises. We have already recovered 150 meters of textile waste. This is what we have achieved so far, but what are our plans for the future? For our future, we would like to share our program to other universities, and we would like to include other disadvantaged people in our program.
And now, let's have fun with our backstage video.
We are Rewind for Future. We hope you enjoyed our presentation, but we would also like to leave you with a final thought. Nobody can do everything, but every one of us can do something. Thank you.
questions?
Sorry, just one comment on the presentation because you presented the products like outcomes. The products are the output, not the outcome. So please correct the presentation because it doesn't give the correct interpretation of the real outcome. You presented actually the outcomes of the project that are the improvement of the lives of the people, the environmental impact and so on, but the products are not the outcomes. Thank you very much for your suggestion.
Thank you very much. Only one thing about the presentation. The clothes are not outcome, the women are not input. This thing is quite important. The input are labor, are work, not are people. Women are people, work are input. Second thing, have you think about the extension of your project about repairing clothes or fixing clothes? Because you have a lot of tailored work and something like that should be implemented with a different kind of market, the market of fixing.
Yes, our idea for the future is to expand our products, our catalog, if you want to call it like this. So we can, yes, we can provide, we can implement this, expand our network and our capabilities and our techniques, skills of our women. Thank you for your suggestions and your question.
Quick question about the economic sustainability of your business. I understand that it's based basically on the fact that raw materials are free and the packaging also is free. So you are assuming that this will be free for the future also, but how can you be sure of that? So I understand that you have partnerships with companies such as Pittarello, but what if your business grow in the future? Will they continue to give you this for free? And what about the raw material? So is this assumption sustainable or not?
Thank you for your question. Yes, we based our project on this assumption, but we have also chosen to stay in our territory, and Veneto is a rich area in fashion and so on. So we hope to start in a good way and to expand our business and to other furnitures or possible suppliers. And
okay.
If not, we will go for financing, maybe.
Yeah, maybe
We
just
chose.
think about a plan B,
Yeah.
just in case.
Just in case, yes.
I think that it's also an opportunity for our partners to be part of our project, and so maybe in the future we can also have other partners, not just the one presenting in the network, for sure. I hope. Thank you.
Looking at your P&L, you are bet on B2C model. Why you select it and why you define two prices like that?
Okay, so we decide to have a fair price, and this data is based on Amazon and Made, who sells product like us. And moreover, thanks to our survey, we ask to our students which is willing to pay for a sustainable product. So we use the average price in Amazon Homemade, Handmade, and then plus the willing to pay of our students to determine these two prices. Thank you.
Thank you for nothing, I said.
Judges, we also now have a break, so you can remain here and finish to write your feedback. By my watch is 12 o'clock, so I would like to kindly ask you to be back here at 10 minutes, and please be sure to be back here because your vote will only count if you're present for all the presentations. Yeah. Hello. May I ask everyone to be seated again? Thank you, so we can continue. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for being back in time. Judges, please help me welcome the team from Enactus Udine and their faculty advisor, Cristina Colautti.
Good morning, everybody. We are Enactus new team. I'm Paolo, and I come from Sicily.
I'm Francesca, and I come from Friuli.
I'm Stefano, my mother is from Venice, and my father is from Puglia.
I'm Vincenzo, I'm from Friuli Venezia Giulia.
I'm Leandro, and I come from Sicily. Now, we all study in Udine, and 2 months ago, when we created our teams, no one have any prejudice to the regional origin of each other. You can say that it is normal, but 70 years ago, this is not happened. In fact, in the 16th, Italians in Italy, the southern, were not well seen by the northers. In particular, the northern thinks that southern don't want work and think that they are a weight for the society. Now, this happening also today, but the protagonists are the Italians and the immigrants, especially from Africa. These are considered lazy and they are exploited in the fields for few euro per day. The racism in Italy is an unpleasant reality. In fact, you can see every day news and stories of racism in our newspaper. And also, this can prove by the data of Istat and Eurobarometro. In the last 10 years, the proportion of immigrants in Italy grew by 3%. Currently, the immigrants in Italy are the 80.5% of the population, but the people, the Italians' perception is about 25%. This highlights an uncomfortable from the Italians to the diversity, and also that the plan of integration didn't give enough results. In fact, the 65% of Italians don't have any personal ties with immigrants, and only the 55% of Italians thinks that immigrants could be a sources for our countries, against the 80% of the Germans and 91% of the Swedish. How do you feel if your doctor is an immigrant? Italians that are totally comfortable in this situation are less than half than the European average, only the 18%. This means that there is a lack of trust of the Italians toward the immigrants. Also, the Italian thinks that immigrants are people that could steal their job in 58%, and they think that 75% of the Italians thinks that immigrants could be possible criminals. Both beliefs are 20% higher than the European average.
And so, to reduce prejudices, people need to stay together. And that's why we create Smile Learn. It is a project that allows to accelerate the linguistic and cultural integration between people through the creation of events aimed at entertainment. So we want to create a community in which people from different countries participate to our proposed events. But there is also the possibility to propose new ones through the sharing of our know-how. We want that people learn new cultures, learn new languages other than the mother tongue. And we want people get out of the comfort zone and to learn to stay together. And the message that we want to spread is that diversity is a strength. And actually, our project has a scientific base that is the theory of contact, created by Gordon Allport in 1954. Allport was an American psychologist, one of the most well-known psychology in the social psychology, and he thought that repeated contact with a member of an outgroup can reduce prejudices, stereotypes, and discriminatory behavior. But it is necessary a particular type of contact. So, which type of contact can produce positive effects? And he illustrated 6 conditions to pursue. Condition number 1, same goal. So the team has to pursue the same goal. Number 2, cooperation. You have to create a situation in which people can cooperate to pursue the same goal. Number 3, equal status. Between the members of a group, there would not be an hierarchical relationship. Number 4, interpersonal contact. You have to create a situation in which people can communicate informally and friendly. Number 5, multiple contacts, so people can reduce the wrong beliefs. And number 6, last but not least, social rules. You have to promote and support during the situation social rules like equality between teams. And in the last month, we have created our first format based on this theory. That is the quiz game. The participants were randomly divided into groups. We have created general knowledge questions in English. Some questions were more difficult and some were easier, so we gave more or less time to answer. It lasted 30 minutes of smiles.
In our first event, there were 30 participants from 8 different nations. They are from Italy, Germany, Austria, Romania, Albania, China, India, and Nigeria. After that, we made a brief survey for asking how the quiz is going. We had the feedback of the 86% of people like it, and they would to make it again, would like to make another experience with us. We see some problems, like the length of the quiz, but in the future events, we could fix it. This year, we want to make 2 more events, and in Udine, our cities, we want to expand our community. In the second year, we want to create effectively the association, and we want to expand our events in the whole 5G of the cities. Third year, we want to consolidate our presence in 5G, and we want to make another big event, big public event, for share our ideals to other people. This is possible only with some partners that allow us to continue the costs, to have less costs. And we can talk briefly about target. Target of people is very changeable because we have more format to do. And the community, the people we can involve in our projects are people from 60 to 65 years old with sufficient knowledge of English. But they have to be open-minded in migrants, and they have to think about their source. In Udine, there are 100,000 people who have these characteristics.
To understand if our project is sustainable, we consider costs such as the accountant cost, the opening of our social association, the opening of the vet number, and also some variable costs like the advertising to organize the event and the materials for the event. We making also an estimate of our revenues that they came from the fees of the associates and also from the revenues from the events. After we do this analysis, we can say that our project, My Learn, is sustainable. But what is the real purpose? To the Italians that thinks that the immigrants are only a threat. We of SmileLearn would answer that we believe in a future made by diversity, and we will work to make this a reality. Thank for your attention, and thank Enactus, University of Udine, and Friuli Foundation for this opportunity.
We will now begin the question and answer period.
Thank you for your presentation. I think I have not well understood how do you invite people and why people have to attend to your meetings or to your events. And the second answer is how do you measure the impact of your events?
People came from in our events because are entertainment events, so they can smile and be happy in these events, and also they can practice English. So some people say me, I will come because in these events I can enjoy and I can practice my English. And the second question is how?
How do you measure the impact, the outcome of your events?
Okay, we could measure our impact based on the people that can we involve in these events. So much people we can involve, much our ideas can be spread.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate your introduction, but the main goal of your introduction is the perception of immigrants about Italian. And the real problem is that there are a lot of Italian people that dislike immigrants and people like immigrants. And the perception is really bad. Your project is a project that focused on the best part of the Italian that think that immigrants are good. The immigrants should be an investment for this country. So I don't understand if you organize event for this kind of people, or do you want to change the perception of the Italian that think that the immigrants are a problem?
We want to accelerate the integration because as we see, the difference, the rising from the northern and southern Italy, there is only a time to check. It's a process that needs time, which our event, we want to accelerate this integration through people that just are enjoyed by immigrants, but we want to spread our community to accelerate this integration.
How to engage this kind of people? Engage Erasmus people, it's too easy in this project. You have to engage the other part of people. I don't understand that.
But if in a family, one person like immigrants and one person don't like immigrants, I am part of family, I participate at this event, I go home and I say at the other person, I enjoy it, it's a good event, it's a good experience. And we try to expand our community and communicate our message of integration.
Any other question?
So, thanks so much for your presentation. It's quite clear that you want to implement an edutainment project. It's something really interesting to us. But we have some questions first. Which kind of partners do you want to involve in your project?
As you can see in the annual report, we already contacted the United Nations, the Department of Economic and Social Affairs. We had a combination of contacts in the last month. So we contacted them, and we also contacted a school in Toulouse, a teacher that was very, very interested about our project, because in the school they would like to introduce projects about integration between people. And also a project near us.
Judges, please help me welcome the team from University of Bocconi.
Test, Enactus Bocconi.
Enactus Bocconi.
Enactus Bocconi.
Enactus Bocconi.
fashion metropolis of Europe.
A thriving international city.
This is just one of many unique facets of our city.
Milan continues to turn into a green city. The government aims to plant 3 million trees by 2030. Their waste management system is among the best in Europe.
Still, to ensure the recovery and the sustainability of our planet, much more needs to be done. Much more can be done.
Founded last September, we're proud to represent the team of Enactus. You will be today talking about 3 of our newest projects, and we're going to show you how we took entrepreneurial action to make the city of Milan even greener.
Let's take a closer look. This looks quite nice, right? But on second glance, it becomes clear that the streets are not as clean as they appear to be. You've probably been wondering what that number represents. Since we've set foot on stage, 16 million cigarette butts have been littered worldwide. That corresponds to 142,000 per second, and that's up to more than 4.5 trillion every year.
To measure the extent of the problem in Milan, 8 of us got together to collect cigarette butts around our university. In 1 hour, we collected an astonishing number of 4,800 cigarette butts.
It's easy to dump one on the road without knowing that every single one introduces more than 4,000 chemicals to the environment. These chemicals take more than 10 years to decompose. But that's not all. Cigarette butts also have an economic implication. Estimations suggest that cities of the size of Milan spend between $3 and $16 million every year to dispose them. Think of where else this money could go.
We searched for the best alternative to mitigate this issue. One that encourages the responsible disposal of cigarette butts, promotes e-recycling, and generates a source of revenue to individuals or specific communities. By carrying out a survey to more than 300 people, we realized that there are several factors to take into consideration with cigarette littering. First, there are not enough cigarette bins, and the ones that exist often are strategically located. Secondly, the design of these bins is often not optimal, which makes them inconvenient to use. And third, people simply do not care enough to throw the cigarette butt away correctly. So we come up with a way to tackle all of these problems at the same time.
And this is Nudgebox, our solution. AC Milan or Inter, KPMG or EY. With these kinds of provocative questions, we encourage smokers to vote and to dispose of cigarette butts correctly at the same time. By strategically placing these eye-catching bins in the areas most affected by cigarette butt littering, we approach all of the problems simultaneously.
Of course, to reduce the cigarette littering, there's a need to reduce the number of smokers. For this reason, we have added a QR code to our prototype to direct people to a website that addresses the consequences of cigarette littering, but as well the health concerns caused by smoking. After proving that our concert works, we now aim to sell our beans to universities, restaurants, corporates, and nightclubs. For our initial development stage, we have now partnered with a UK-based recycling charity called Hubbub to distribute their beans in Milan. From this collaboration would allow us to use the production capacity to quickly distribute a large number of beans around Milan.
With a discounted purchase price of 210 euros and a profit margin of 30 euros, we will sell our bins for a price of 240 euros. Additional revenues will be made by offering a maintenance package for a small fee and by using the containers as advertisement space to be sold to different brands. With our goal of selling 150 bins within the next 5 years, we estimate to make annual revenues of 34,000 euros by the year 2023, making Nudgebox fully self-sustainable. In the long term, we aim to build up our own production in order to be able to reduce the price of our product.
After developing our business model, one thing was missing, our social entrepreneur, and we found Paul. Paul is from Senegal, and despite his eagerness to work, it has been very hard for him to find a job. We were attracted by him. He sells pens and pencils to students in front of our university. He was immediately interested in our project. We are now in the process of teaching Paul the basic business and accounting skills to set up a small business. With this acquired knowledge and his talent to sell, we're
more than 3 tons by the year 2023. Right now, we're in talks with different recycling startups in order to give these toxic cigarette butts an innocuous second life and to eliminate the threat they pose to our planet. It is our responsibility to act. No ifs, no buts.
Let us now take you on a ride to our second project. We want to start by shedding light on 3 different problems. Problem number 1. The world drinks 2.25 billion cups of coffee every day. In Italy alone, this amounts to 380,000 tons of coffee grounds every year, the majority of which are thrown away thoughtlessly. The obvious consequences of this are the extra disposal costs for the cafes and the municipality, as well as the 259,000 tons of CO2 emissions that emerge from landfills due to coffee waste.
Problem number 2. 70,000 tons of charcoal are consumed in Italy every year. A vast majority of this charcoal is obtained at the cost of the deforestation of rainforest, a deforestation with tremendous impact to our environment. In fact, 8% of the worldwide CO2 emissions can be directly traced back to it, making it one of the largest contributors to climate change.
Problem number 3. There are 750,000 people living with cognitive disabilities in Italy. Most of them spend their time in sheltered workshops, but few are given the opportunity of making a real impact on society.
Now, you might be wondering, what do all of these problems have in common? We created eCoffee, the coffee recycle company that connects the dots. The concept is quite simple. We take used coffee grounds and wax that would otherwise be thrown away, and together with the sheltered workshops, we give them a second life by recycling them into fuel logs and selling them through different channels as a substitute to charcoal. But now, let's take a closer look on how we're taking this concept into practice.
After surveying several cafes around a university, we found out that 100% of them throw their coffee grounds away and that they incur significant costs to dispose them. Based on that, they showed to be extremely receptive to supply us with our raw material for free. Likewise, churches around our university can supply us with free wax. In our very first test rounds, we managed to gather 50 kilograms of coffee grounds, and along with the wax and molasses, we were able to make our first fuel logs. These are cost efficient and eco-friendly, and can easily compete with regular products on the market. Indeed, our first prototypes already burn 10% longer than regular charcoal.
But the best part is that we saw the full potential of these logs. They're not only a more sustainable alternative to charcoal, but their production brings social, emotional, and cognitive benefits to the communities in the sheltered workshops. Last month, we visited La Piccola Casa del Rifugio and met with Maria, one of their psychologists. Together with them, we aim to start running workshops to produce various coffee recycling projects. By 2019, we aim to have a fully established production process whose ownership will gradually be handed over to La Piccola Casa del Rifugio.
With our project, we aim to achieve a triple bottom line impact. Firstly, environmental. By recycling 600 kilograms of coffee grounds every year, we can save at least 342 kilograms of CO2 per year and make our own contribution to reducing the worldwide deforestation.
Economical. A very crucial point of every social enterprise is its financial sustainability. By maintaining our annual supply of 600 kilograms of coffee, we will achieve a production capability of 1,024 kilograms of coffee logs. By charging a competitive price of €2 per kilogram and considering labor, material, packaging and transporting costs of €1.62 per kilogram, we will obtain a margin of 19%. If we reach our goal of partnering with 60 coffee shops by 2023, we will make profits of €23,500.
And finally, social. By running our workshops at La Piccola Casa del Rifugio, we can achieve La Piccola Casa del Rifugio. We can impact 92 of their residents, not only by providing them with a paid occupation, but also by giving them the opportunity to have a positive impact on the community and by improving their overall well-being.
Today, we've shown you how we turn waste into opportunities.
I didn't get about the box. Do you think about a patent of this solution, or is already a solution that is provided from something, companies and so on?
Thank you for your question. So this idea is not our very own original idea. It actually is a company or a charity in the UK that has been producing these boxes. However, they didn't really expand into other countries, so the boxes are mainly located in the UK. So we wanted to bring this idea to Milan because we think that it can have great potential here as well. Our initial idea was to produce the boxes by ourselves, simply to have a larger impact, a larger variability in our decisions. However, we have noticed that especially in the beginning of our stage, it would be beneficial for us to have cooperation with them in order to use their production capabilities and their processes. So that we can quickly distribute a larger amount of these boxes in Milan. And once we see that this product is actually well accepted in Milan and we have a high enough number of boxes that we can sell, then we will try to implement our own production.
Next one.
Hi again. Just a quick question related the relation you have between Milan and Tanzania. So it's not clear to me exactly which kind of work or which kind of a connection you have with them.
So our idea was to install this aquaponics system, and we were thinking on how can we maximize our impact. So where is this idea the most needed? So after that, we met with Students for Humanity, which is another association, and they have operations. They've been having operations for more than 6 years in Tanzania, so they know the community. So we sat with them and we did a full needs assessment analysis and concluded that our aquaponics system would be beneficial for their communities. And now we're working on implementing all the changes to our idea and to our project to fully adapt it to the community in question. So to answer your question, we are taking care of training the people that are going to Tanzania here in Milan, but the project will happen in Tanzania in the community identified by Students for Humanity.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Your projects are really improved between the last time we saw it. Only one question, why you didn't choose only one project to focus on it? If you go on final this afternoon, you should present 3 different projects.
So we decided to present 2 projects and just mention a third one because obviously there's a trade-off between being able to fully explain a project and just being able to showcase what we've done. But we thought since everyone in the team has worked so hard and we really wanted to present ideas of both projects and also to get feedback from both projects, from the judges. But we do understand that there's a trade-off and that we lose a bit in our capability of further explaining each project in detail.
Okay, thank you.
What about communication and marketing plan? It's not so clear to me for the first and the second one, especially for the second one, because as we said last time in the mock presentation, there is a problem with cigarettes. No? It's like a drug, it's something people, we need to fight again cigarettes, we said last time. So I don't know if you have make an improvement.
Well, in the first one, in the cigarette ones, the marketing that we're going to use is in the boxes per se, because we're going to use a QR code for...
This was the last presentation for this round. Just for the judges, we will ask you to stay here and you will still have time to write your comments, and then we'll go through the scoring process together. Thank you so much.